All right, it's called the herd hierarchy. It's close. I mean, there's a lot of good teams. Is there a great team? I'm not sure, but here we go.
Herd hierarchy.
Time is now. Let's go.
The top 10 NFL teams according to Colin. Number 10.
They have the number 1 total offense and the number 2 scoring offense since week 11 as this young coaching staff figures out Justin Herbert. They're hyper-aggressive. Herbert's the highest-graded quarterback on third down in the entire league. That includes Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. They are a big play offense that can't stop anybody. So I think there are limitations to what they can do in the playoffs. But receivers, excellent. Backs, O-line upgraded, star quarterback, productive tight ends. This is a team that can win trailing by 3 touchdowns entering the second half, and they can come and win. They score big. They score fast. They just can't stop teams, so I'd put them at 10.
Number 9.
The Patriots, who have a great defense, but opposite of the Chargers, they fall behind. They're not winning the game. They just don't fall behind much. Listen, Mac Jones has been terrific. 9 games completing 70% of his passes or more. We knew he was accurate. But if it's not on script, you don't get anything here. They are 7-0 against teams with a losing record. They are 3-6 against teams 500 or better. So they meet their match physically, and they don't have the personnel to overcome a Kansas City, that level of a team, a Green Bay, an Arizona. I just don't think they're built for long-term success right now in the playoffs.
Number 8.
Arizona. The thing that impresses me about Arizona, and I said this a couple weeks ago, I don't think it's a Kyler Murray issue. They don't have James Conner, Rondale Moore, and DeAndre Hopkins. Now, they won at Dallas despite that. But those are 3 hugely important players, and they're all banged up. So I don't think there's anything for Arizona to necessarily solve. I think they just have to get healthy. And as we talked about last year, Tampa Bay got healthy at the end of the year, and the Packers didn't. This team was healthy until about week 12. They fell apart, and you're seeing the offense isn't as robust. But I will say this. They are 8-1 on the road this year. That's pretty impressive. Like, they are a very good road team. That'll matter in the playoffs.
Number 7.
My Shawshank Redemption, the Mike Tyson of the NFL, the Buffalo Bills. I know they're too reliant on Josh Allen. I know they don't run the ball enough, but Josh Allen's a freak. And defensively, oh, by the way, opposing quarterbacks have the lowest passer rating in the league against Buffalo's defense. They have a great defensive coach. They have an excellent pass rush. Their defense allows the fewest yards per play in the league. So they're going to be in games because it's hard to run away from them. They can be a little mistake-prone, can't run it, but man, do they have a knockout punch. Buffalo at 7.
Number 6.
I'll say Buffalo at 6 because their offense has been more consistent. They can run it, they can throw it, and Joe Burrow's getting better every week. Listen, the offense has 21 big plays, and those are considered by the NFL big plays. 21. Nobody in the NFL has more than 15. So they're like the Chargers, who beat them, by the way, but they're the Chargers, but I think a little more consistent and on hyperspeed. They are a big play offense. Burrow can make mistakes. He's not a dink and dunk guy. Like, he'll throw it down the field. They've got great receivers. I still contend they are a rebuilding roster. That's why I would consider Zach Taylor Coach of the Year and Joe Burrow MVP. I think this is, of my top 10 here, there's an argument to be made. It's the weakest overall roster, but I put them at 6.
Number 5.
The Rams, 5-0 in December. There's 2 stats that jump out. Offense leads the NFL in yards per play. They are a big play offense. Secondly, Matt Stafford leads the NFL second-half passer rating. So this is a team that's good when it counts. Good in the fourth quarter. Good late in games. Odell Beckham's moved in. That works now. The defense leads the NFL in sacks. So what happens is Matt Stafford can struggle, but he's usually comfortable in the second half with time to throw, good runners and good receivers, and your quarterback is uncomfortable in the second half, and that's what they are. They're a flawed team with a massive ceiling. A little like the opposite of New England, where New England doesn't make any mistakes but has a low ceiling. Rams make all sorts of them, but they're on their best quarter in their second halves. They're as good as any team in the league. I think they're a dark horse Super Bowl team.
Number 4.
The Titans. How are they here? I mean, seriously, the soul of their team is running. Derrick Henry's gone. Tannehill's okay. He's probably C+, B-. They're really well coached. What I like about them is when they've played the best games of the year, it's been against the best teams. New England's beating the bad teams. Dallas beats the bad teams. Tennessee is 6-2 against teams with winning records. I've seen them push the Rams around in L.A. So this team, I want no part of if Derrick Henry comes back. I would want no part to play him well coached, tough. A.J. Brown's become a star wide receiver over the top.
Number 3.
Tampa Bay, number 1 offense. They lead the NFL in sack differential. What does that mean? Their quarterback's clean and your quarterback's in trouble. This goes back to a theory I have about the NFL that's fairly simple. If I, over the course of a game, have a more comfortable quarterback, I win the game. That's what Tampa does. Tommy's comfortable, doesn't get hit, and your quarterback's under duress. You win a lot of games like that. They haven't looked good about 6 times this year, but even in some of those games, like this past weekend, they kind of find a way to win. They are a little beat up right now, and that would concern me.
Number 2.
Kansas City. Now, I know Cincinnati beat Kansas City, but Kansas City jumped to a big lead, and the game is in Cincinnati, and I think on a neutral field or in Kansas City, the Chiefs win. Kansas City's good. Here's my big concern. I still don't think Patrick Mahomes in the offense is right. Huge first half, nothing in the second half. They did snap a 25-game winning streak in November and December and January, so they're fine. Don't worry about them. They've got their playmakers. They're getting healthier. A little beat up on the O-line right now. I don't worry about them, but I still think the offense is not right. Like, there are things about Cincinnati that are not right. The offense is fine. This is not, maybe it's mechanics, Mahomes, whatever it is, I still think they're going to have to figure something out offensively to win a Super Bowl. They just have too many bad quarters offensively.
Number 1.
Green Bay. Home field, have a bye, have an MVP at quarterback, and a very competent defense. My big concern is you can run the football on this team, and whereas they were physical early in the year, they've gotten pretty at the end of the year. They've gone back to being kind of the Green Bay we know, with a great quarterback, play great with a lead, but you can push them around a little bit. That would worry me. But they're 12-4 against the spread this year, which matters, because what that's telling you is we know they're good. They're probably better than we think. That's what Dallas was early in the year. Better than we thought. Better than bettors thought. What that tells you is we know they're good. They're probably a little better than we think. I do worry that they don't have the knockout punch. They did this weekend, but by and large, they let bad teams kind of hang around, and that you got to be very careful with that, because that's how you lose playoff games. But I would say in a league where there's no great team, there's some really good ones. I would pick Green Bay number 1. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.